Hello everyone. Today we will see how to work with DATEDIF function in Excel. So let's start. This is our data set. So what DATEDIF function actually does, it returns the year, month or day or all of them between two dates. So let's see how it works. First type date, DIF. You will see when type up to this, you will not see DATEDIF function, so you have to type it completely. Then if you give open bracket, you can see the function, but you will not see the argument. So how to use this DATEDIF function? First select start date, then end date, and then you have to select the unit. That is, I am selecting Y, closing bracket. Here we can see 1 year because we have selected y means total completed year between two dates. That is, in this date range it will show only the completed years. So if there is many more months, then it will only show completed years. If there is if there are, here we can see from January 1 2020 to July 10 2021, almost 1 year and 6 month 10 days, but here only showing one because we have selected Y. And if we selected unit Y, so Y means total only completed years between two dates. Now we will select M as a unit. What M means? Total completed months between two dates. So all these data are similar. You can see here all these data are similar. That is, the range is 1 year, 6 month and 10 days. Okay, so date, diff, open bracket, then start date, end date, and unit. So here I have given unit as a month. Here we can see 18 months is given. Between two days there are 18 months and 10 days, but 10 days will not return because we have selected M as a unit, and M means only total completed months between two dates. Now if I select date, D means total completed days between two dates. That is, in these two dates all the days will be counted here. So let's use this. Start date, end date, and unit is this one. Here we can see 556 days. Now here ym, what I will select ym as a unit. What ym means? It ignores the completed years and shows the residual months. That means here we know that 1 year, 6 month and 10 days are given, so 1 year will be ignored, only it will give 6 months. 10 days will also be excluded. It will show only the residual months, uh, but it will ignore the year. So let's do it. Date, diff, start, end, and this unit. You can see only 6 months is given. Now yd, what yd means? It ignores completed years, okay, but shows the residual days. Okay, so one, we know that from this date to this date, there is 1 year, 6 month and 10 days. So 1 year will be excluded, and the 6 month and 10 days, it will be converted total in days. So let's date, diff, this one. You can see 191 days. That is from January 1 2021 to January, I'm sorry, from the completed year is January 1 2020 to January 1 2021. So this will start from January 2 2021 to 7 to July 10 2021. So there is 190 days. It means it ignored the completed years and shows the remaining days. Now if I use md means it ignores completed months and shows the residual days. That is, from this to this, we know that 1 year, 6 months, and 10 days. So 1 year means 12 months and 6 months. So it will ignore 18 months and it will show only 9 days, because from 1 to uh, 1 July, it completed 8 months. So because of this 10, it will show the residual 9 days. Date, diff, start day, end day, and unit. So here we can see it ignored the completed months between these two dates and shows the residual days. If there is a 29 days, even in that case, 29 days will be shown, because to complete a month we need 30 days at least. So this is how we can work with. Here we take in this unit by selecting this cell, but you can also manually type the unit. And to do that, I'm showing you few. Date diff, the same way, select start date, end date, and rather selecting any unit, you can type any. If you want y, then because you are typing, if you manually input any data, and if you manually input any text data, then you must give it within inverted comma. Here you can see this is the thing. Now if I drag across, everywhere will be shown one, because if you type anything manually, then that will be applied everywhere. We These two cells, that is start date and end date, we take that from selecting this. So when we drag this, all this will be selected dynamically. But because we manually typed y, that's why it will not be selected dynamically. It will be uh, in all these cells. Now for this, I'm selecting month, so you can see the month. And for this one, I will select day. For this one, I will select ym. For this one, yd. And for this one, md. So that's how you can work with DATEDIF function. Now I will do an application. For example, a person, he worked in an organization from this date to this date. This is the starting date. Okay. So we want to know how many days he worked in that organization. So to do that, let's use DATEDIF function. For we let's uh, we want the result in this cell. Okay. So date diff, then start date, comma, end date, comma. Now we want year first. Okay. So for that, we are manually typing year. It will give us the completed year. Then closing bracket. Now there are more than 1 year in between these two dates, so we want months, but we don't want the completed years, we want month. So here ym will be used. So to type, so after this, another formula will be added, and that's why let's type and the formula will start from here. Date diff, then again start date, end date, comma. Now we want ym, and there will be also some days left. So for that, we will use this, that is md. Okay, I will. Md means ignores completed months and shows the residual days. So here let's add another date, another formula. Date diff, then start date, comma, end date. Now the unit is md. Okay. Now if I enter, you can see 169. It means 1 year, 6 months, and 9 days. So I want to add year after 1, months after 6, and days after 9. How we can do that? What is if 1 is the output, what is the input for 1? This is the up to this is the input for 1. Okay, so after this input, let's add a text. So for that, let's give an and, then the text is years, and we know if we manually type any text, then we have to give within inverted comma. So 1 year. Okay, so let's see how it will look. Let's see, 1 year. Okay, so now if 6 is the output, what is the input? It started from here to this place. Now add months. So give and give inverted comma first, months. Okay, enter. So 1 year, 6 months, and we will include 9 days. So this is the last one. So here we add and days. Okay, we don't need to close the bracket. This is a completely different thing. So 1 year, 6 months, 9 days. We if we want to give a comma after a year, months, and days, then after year text give a comma, and after months you can give comma. So it will look like this. So if you want to give a space after comma, then after this is the text, after this comma add a space here, months comma, here add another space, and this is your final output. So I'm cutting this, I'm cutting this and pasting it right here. So uh, how many time he worked in that organization from this date to this date, any person he worked 1 year, 6 months, and 9 days in that organization. So that's how we can work with DATEDIF function in Excel. That's all for today. Thank you very much.